Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a pretty fascinating shift happening right now in the business world. There's this growing tension between AI automation and consumer trust. And we're going to look closely at exactly how top brands are resolving this friction without, sacrificing that incredible scale that technology offers us. Okay, let's dive right into a frankly staggering number from some recent data: 29%. According to a study looking at real customer behavior, almost a third of callers, 29% to be exact, hang up immediately the absolute second they realize they're speaking to an AI. I mean, think about that for a second. That isn't just a minor frustration, right? That is literally lost leads and lost revenue before a conversation even has a chance to get off the ground. So this massive drop-off naturally leads us to a really critical question. It's one that businesses across the board, from scrappy startups all the way to massive enterprise operations, are starting to ask themselves. In our rush to scale efficiency, are we actually over-automating our businesses and alienating our buyers? Like, are we actively pushing people away just to save a few seconds on a phone call or a web chat? Well, recent behavioral data discussed on Reddit and tracked by Luther's research reveals a pretty stark reality. It shows a massive 83% of consumers overwhelmingly prefer speaking to a real human person over an AI. And honestly, we've all been there, right? Literally shouting the word representative into the phone after a bot tells you I didn't quite catch that for the third time. Consumers are clearly demonstrating that while they might tolerate AI for super basic tasks, their overwhelming preference is absolutely human connection. Which brings up a really fascinating risk. As one business owner observed, AI first can quietly become trustless. If your setup is basically designed to keep a customer away from a human for as long as humanly possible, people pick up on that immediately. They aren't necessarily anti-AI, they're anti-being managed. And man, once that initial trust is broken, your conversion rates just absolutely plummet. So let's look at Section 1, the transparency mandate, which covers the legal guardrails for AI. As if customer hangups weren't enough of a headache, right? The EU AI Act's Article 50 actually forces the issue of trust by legally requiring companies to be completely transparent. If you're using an AI system intended to interact directly with people, you are legally obligated to inform them that they are interacting with a machine, unless it's overwhelmingly obvious. So you can no longer pretend your chatbot is a real human named Sarah from customer success. And these new legal frameworks require disclosure in some very specific use cases, whether we're talking about synthetic text and audio, deep fakes, or even systems attempting to read a user's emotions or biometrics. It just goes to show that optimizing purely for a black box automation, where the customer has zero clue how their data is being processed or who they're even talking to, well, it's just no longer legally viable. Moving on to Section 2, the Great Balancing Act. Finding that sweet spot between human and machine. So the solution here lies in a highly deliberate balancing act. As outlined by customer support platforms like Bloomfire, we really need to let AI handle the cold efficiency of high-volume, repetitive tasks, things like password resets or tracking an order. Meanwhile, we absolutely must reserve our human agents for the empathetic warmth required in complex, high-stakes, or emotionally charged situations. And this division of labor is absolutely vital because trust in AI drops incredibly fast the moment urgency or real consequences enter the chat. Look at these numbers for a second. 56% of people do not trust AI with urgent trades calls, 54% distrust it for legal matters, and 47% totally reject it for medical bookings. When the stakes are high, human judgment is completely non-negotiable. Okay, let's look at Section 3, scaling personalization right, moving way beyond just the first name. According to analysis from Autobound, AI-personalized emails achieve a super impressive 18% reply rate. That is literally 5.2 times higher than the dismal 3.4% response rate you get from blasting out generic, old-school email templates. When AI is used to do deep account research, the results honestly just speak for themselves. The experts over at Tofu HQ break this evolution down into a fantastic framework. We have got to move past basic surface-level tricks like just swapping in a first name and a company name into a template. True AI implementation allows for context-level personalization, referencing specific signals like a recent funding round. And even better, it enables campaign-level personalization, where the entire messaging strategy is completely tailored to an account's exact buying stage. Now, tools like Fibar AI are taking this whole concept even further with what's called agentic personalization. This bypasses traditional creative bottlenecks by autonomously matching a landing page's messaging to the exact ad the user just clicked, So say a user clicks an ad about cost savings. The AI actually rewrites the landing page headline and the hero image in real time to focus specifically on cost savings. It creates this incredibly seamless, highly relevant journey for the buyer. All right, section 4, the human in the loop future, working simultaneously, not sequentially. Bloomfire outlines a really clear structural process where AI acts as the highly efficient first line of defense. The AI smartly triages incoming requests, instantly resolving the routine FAQs, and then, and this is the crucial part, providing a transparent handoff to human agents the very moment nuance, negotiation, or empathy is required. But the company ASAP takes this a step further with their human-in-the-loop workflow. Instead of a clunky transfer where the customer has to frustratingly repeat themselves to a totally new agent, if the AI gets stuck, it requests human help behind the scenes. A human agent essentially guides the AI on what to say next, and the customer gets a totally seamless resolution without ever feeling the friction of a handoff. It's a real game changer. What's super fascinating here is that adding human judgment actually multiplies your team's capacity. Not only does it eliminate those frustrating customer restarts, but because human agents can supervise multiple AI conversations simultaneously, your capacity scales massively. Plus, the human's input continuously trains your AI models to be even smarter in the background. It's a total win-win. So, by embracing this pendulum swing back to the middle, blending the genuine empathy and judgment of humans with the lightning-fast efficiency and data crunching of AI, we can deliver the highly relevant experiences that modern buyers actually expect. To sum this up perfectly, the future is absolutely about delivering seamless, unique, and highly relevant experiences across every single channel. As we wrap up this explainer, it really makes you look closely at your own workflows, doesn't it? Ask yourself this final critical question. Are you automating away your customers' trust? Or are you using AI to empower your human teams to build deeper, faster connections? Thanks for exploring this with me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.